So there's this new tool from Google called NotebookLM, and it is making some serious waves. Some people are calling it a game-changing research assistant, but others, they're saying it's a straight-up money-making machine. So what's the real story here? Are we looking at the next big AI gold rush?
I mean, that quote really captures the feeling, doesn't it? Creators are looking at this like it's a ground floor opportunity, a whole new digital frontier opening up. But before we get totally swept up in all the hype, let's take a step back and figure out what this thing actually is.
Okay, so here's the key difference. Unlike something like ChatGPT that pulls from, well, the entire internet, NotebookLM only knows what you tell it. You feed it your documents, your links, your notes, and that's its entire universe. Think of it like a personal AI expert that's only ever read your specific research. And that's huge because it basically stops it from just making stuff up.
And that really is the central question we're going to dig into. We're going to look at both sides of the coin. The incredible promise that has everyone so excited, and then the practical reality of what it's like to actually use NotebookLM.
All right, let's start with the exciting part. We're going to dive right into the promise of NotebookLM by looking at 5 concrete income blueprints that creators are already building businesses around.
And look, these aren't just some vague theories. These are 5 distinct business models that all tap into NotebookLM's core strength, taking a messy pile of information and turning it into something structured, valuable, and, well, sellable. We're talking everything from daily briefings for a niche industry to mining a nonprofit's archives for powerful fundraising stories. The potential here is incredibly broad.
And this quote, this just perfectly nails the value of that first idea, the daily research automation. We are all drowning in information overload, right? The real value, the thing people will actually pay for, is clarity. The goal is to become that one trusted source that cuts through all the noise.
And if you think this is some small-time side hustle, think again. Just look at a company like Morning Brew. They built a business with over $50 million in revenue based on this exact model, curating and simplifying news for a specific audience. The only difference is NotebookLM can automate and scale that whole process like never before.
So that's the promise. But how do you actually get there? How do you go from a pile of research to real revenue? Well, let's look at the actual playbook people are using to turn a simple idea into a full-blown marketing plan.
Okay, check this out. This is a real-world workflow. People start by feeding NotebookLM things like Reddit threads and YouTube comments just to figure out what customers are actually complaining about. From there, the tool helps build out everything: the competitor analysis, the actual product details, a social media calendar, and even that free guide you use to capture email addresses. It's basically an end-to-end marketing engine in a box.
Now, other creators have streamlined this even further into what they call a daily sprint. It's a system. Day 1 is all about research. Day 2, you draft a quick plan. Day 3 is the big one. You create one core piece of content, let's say a YouTube video. Then NotebookLM helps you automatically repurpose that video into a podcast, a blog post, and all your social media updates. It becomes this incredible content creation flywheel.
And here's the kicker. The point isn't just to make content. It's to create assets that generate income. That one YouTube video can bring in money from affiliate links, ad revenue, from a newsletter, sales from a digital product. You see where this is going. It's about building a whole ecosystem of income streams, all stemming from a single daily research sprint.
Okay, this all sounds unbelievably powerful, and it is. But when you start digging into what actual users are saying on places like Reddit, you find a really important reality check. There are some serious limitations you need to know about.
So here's the biggest misconception, hands down. People go in expecting NotebookLM to be a writer. It's not. It's a research assistant. Its superpower is analyzing and synthesizing your sources into summaries, outlines, and key takeaways. It doesn't create from a blank page. And, side note, users also report it's not great with things like proper academic citations.
And that leads to this really crucial shift in thinking. Your job changes. You're no longer the expert writer. You are the expert curator. The quality of what you get out of NotebookLM is 100% dependent on the quality of the sources you put in. You're the one who has to find the good stuff. The tool just helps you organize it.
So here's the pro workflow that's starting to emerge. You use NotebookLM for all the heavy lifting, the research, the analysis, the synthesis. Then you take that beautifully organized output and you copy-paste it into a different AI like Gemini or ChatGPT to do the actual creative writing, to polish the tone, and to flesh out the ideas. It's a two-step dance.
Now, beyond just what the tool can and can't do, using any AI content generator opens up a whole can of worms around ethics and responsibility.
And these aren't just philosophical debates anymore. Many of them are quickly becoming legal requirements. This leads us to the million-dollar question that every single creator using these tools has to face. And honestly, the answer is getting clearer by the day.
The answer is a pretty unambiguous yes. You've got major regulations coming down the pike, like the EU AI Act, that are making transparency a legal mandate. Soon, if you don't label your AI-generated content, you could be on the hook for consumer deception. This is shifting from a best practice to a must-do.
And being transparent is really just the beginning. As the creator, you're still responsible for all the other big risks. The AI can accidentally pick up biases from your source material. It can still make factual errors. And there are enormous, unresolved legal questions around intellectual property and copyright. So what does using AI responsibly actually look like in practice? Well, first, you have to be intentional and keep a close eye on what it's spitting out. Second, you absolutely must have a human expert review the final product. And finally, you have to be transparent and label your AI-assisted content. This isn't just about covering your bases, it's about building long-term trust with your audience.
And that leaves us with this final, really provocative question. As these tools get better and better at blurring that line between summarizing information and actually creating something new, we have to wrestle with a pretty fundamental question about authorship. Who's the real creator here? The person who has the vision and curates the sources, or the algorithm that actually puts the words together? That's a question we're all going to be figuring out as this new gold rush continues to unfold.